You touched your phone 2,617 times today, and you don't even remember most of it. Every single scroll, every tap, every swipe, something is happening inside your brain that nobody told you about. Your brain is being physically restructured, the same way a river reshapes rock over centuries, except this is happening in months. And the people who built these apps, they knew exactly what they were doing. In the next 5 minutes, I'll show you the neuroscience, the psychology, and the billion-dollar machine behind why you cannot stop scrolling. This is not a warning. This is what's already happening inside you. Right now, let's start with dopamine. Most people think it's the pleasure chemical. They're wrong. It's actually the anticipation chemical. Your brain releases dopamine not when you get a reward, but when there's a chance you might get one. It's why slot machines are addictive. And your feed works exactly the same way. Psychologist B.F. Skinner discovered this in 1950 using rats and levers. Sometimes they pressed and got food. Sometimes they pressed and got nothing. The uncertainty made them press the lever compulsively. The scroll is your lever. The like, the viral video, the surprising meme, that's the food pellet. You've been Skinnered by Silicon Valley. Former Google design ethicist Tristan Harris admitted they deliberately engineered this loop. He called smartphones a slot machine in your pocket. Every notification sends a dopamine spike to your nucleus accumbens, the reward center. A University of Michigan study found social media triggers the same neural patterns as cocaine. Here's where it gets dangerous. Your brain adapts. The same stimulus produces less dopamine over time. So you need more extreme content, more scrolling, more stimulation. But dopamine is just the beginning. Because while that's happening in your reward system, your prefrontal cortex, the part that makes you human, is being quietly dismantled. In 2000, the average human attention span was 12 seconds. By 2015, it had dropped to 8. A goldfish holds attention for 9 seconds. We are now officially below goldfish. When you constantly switch between short-form content, you're training your brain to avoid sustained focus. Deep thinking becomes physically uncomfortable. This is neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to physically rewire itself based on what you repeatedly do. Neurons that fire together, wire together. It's how you learn a language, or lose your focus. These companies don't sell you products. They sell your attention to advertisers. Every second you spend scrolling is worth money. Your distraction is their business model. The algorithm has one goal: not to entertain you, not to inform you, to maximize the time you spend on the platform. That is its entire purpose. And it discovered something powerful. Outrage, fear, and anxiety keep you scrolling longer than joy ever will. So it learned to feed you what makes you angry. In 2018, leaked Facebook documents showed their own researchers knew the platform was amplifying hate speech, misinformation, and division. And they kept doing it. So your attention is fractured. Your emotions are being weaponized. But here's the part most people never hear about. What's happening to your memory? Neuroscientists call it cognitive offloading. When you know you can Google something, your brain stops bothering to remember it. We're outsourcing our memory to machines. Worse, your identity is being quietly shaped by what the algorithm chooses to show you. You think you're discovering your interests. You're actually being assigned them. If you watch one conspiracy video out of curiosity, the algorithm puts you in a funnel. 3 videos later, you're in a rabbit hole. 3 weeks later, your worldview has changed. Social comparison theory tells us we judge ourselves by comparing to others. Instagram shows you the highlight reel of everyone's life, all day, every day. It's engineered to make you feel inadequate. A 2023 study found teen girls who used Instagram for more than 3 hours daily had a 50% higher rate of depression. Facebook's own research showed they knew Instagram was toxic for teenage girls and said nothing. For 300,000 years, the human brain evolved in environments with no flashing screens, no notifications, and no infinite novelty. It was not designed for this. Your brain still runs survival software from 10,000 BC. It scans for threats, seeks novelty, and craves social approval. Social media exploits every one of these ancient drives. But here's what they don't want you to know. The people building these tools don't let their own children use them. That fact alone should terrify you. When a journalist asked Steve Jobs if his kids love the iPad, he replied, "They haven't used it. We limit how much technology our kids use at home." The most popular school in Silicon Valley, where tech executives send their children, bans all screens. No computers, no tablets, no phones. The people who built the digital world chose to raise their kids without it. This pattern has a name. We've seen it before. In the 1950s, tobacco executives privately called cigarettes the deadliest product ever sold. Publicly, they hired scientists to say they were safe. Today, social media companies fund research showing their platforms connect people and build community. The same playbook, different product, same result. 5 billion people now use social media. That's more than 60% of humanity. No drug, no religion, and no government has ever simultaneously influenced 5 billion human brains. Until now. But here's what makes this different from every other addiction in history. Neuroplasticity works both ways. The same brain that was rewired can be rewired back. Studies show that just 72 hours away from social media significantly reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, and improves sleep quality, focus, and mood. Cal Newport, a computer science professor at Georgetown, calls it deep work, distraction-free concentration on cognitively demanding tasks. He argues it is the superpower of the 21st century because it's becoming rare. One of the most powerful changes you can make is to remove your phone from your bedroom. Research from the Sleep Foundation shows the blue light from screens suppresses melatonin for up to 3 hours after use. Silicon Valley's newest trend is ironic: dopamine fasting, deliberately avoiding all high-stimulation activities to reset the brain's reward baseline. The same engineers who built the problem are now running from it. The goal isn't to eliminate technology. It's to use it intentionally. Ask yourself before every session, what is the specific outcome I want from this? If you can't answer, you're being used, not using. Psychologists recommend the 5-minute morning rule. Don't touch your phone for the first 5 minutes after waking. Your brain is in its most vulnerable, impressionable state. Protect that window. Boredom has been pathologized. We treat it as something to escape. But neuroscience shows boredom is when your brain enters its default mode network, where creativity, empathy, and self-reflection happen. But individual choices only go so far. Because this isn't just a personal problem. It's a civilizational one. And the stakes are much higher than your attention span. Democracy requires citizens who can think critically, evaluate evidence, and tolerate complexity. The attention economy is systematically destroying all three capabilities. MIT research found false information spreads 6 times faster than true information on social media. Not because people are stupid, but because our brains are wired to find novelty more interesting than accuracy. Global rates of anxiety and depression have risen sharply since 2012, the exact year smartphone ownership went mainstream. Correlation? The evidence is rapidly becoming causation. The most connected generation in history is also the loneliest. We have 1,000 followers and no one to call when we're struggling. We've traded depth for reach and called it progress. Governments are beginning to act. Every transformative technology in history has gone through this. The printing press created propaganda. Television created mass manipulation. The internet created the attention economy. The question is never whether the technology is dangerous. It's who controls it and why. You cannot opt out of the technological future, but you can decide whether you'll be a passive consumer of it or an informed participant in it. That choice is made one scroll at a time. So what do you actually do? Here are 3 things neuroscience says will work. First, switch your phone to grayscale. Color triggers dopamine. Remove the color, remove the neurological reward. Second, delete all non-essential notifications. Every notification is a designed interruption. Third, make your first and last hour of the day phone-free. These are the windows when your brain is most impressionable. Guard them. Your brain is not broken. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do in an environment it was never designed for. Understanding that is the first step to reclaiming your mind. Technology is not going away. But who controls your attention? That's still up to you. The most radical thing you can do in the modern world is decide to be present in your own life. If this changed how you see your phone, subscribe.